All right, can you hear me now? All right. So the low ceiling is going to make it difficult to see the short presentation that we have. So what we plan on doing is we will make the presentation available on the department's website, the PowerPoint in a PDF format so that people can download it and take it away, because there is some information here about how did we get here tonight. So with that, like I said, my name is Stafford Lair. I'm the Chief of the Fisheries Branch, and Marty Gingras from our Bay Delta region will be making part of this presentation. So we hope to take about maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go through this short presentation, and then we'll turn it over to the floor. A couple of ground rules. There's a lot of people here, and a lot of people want to speak. We would appreciate it if you filled out a speaker card, and so that we can take this in order. And then what we'll do is we'd like to limit it to 3 minutes per speaker. And if the comments become the same, that if you want to just refer to someone else who's already made your comment, that's fine. We plan on collecting all these speaker cards, and we will let the Fish and Game Commission know the general sentiment of the parties that chose to speak. So that being said, this is the beginning of a long process. This is not about a regulatory process tonight. We are not under any type of Bagley-Keene rules or anything like that. And this is not a CEQA scoping meeting. This is a workshop where we hope to be able to at least present some information and then hear the feedback. So people have been commenting that this is been a closed process, and people feel as though they are not getting a chance to have their voice heard. What this process will entail is multiple timelines and venues should it move forward for the public to begin to comment. So what I have here on this slide is tonight, November 8th, this workshop. In December, this proposal will be presented as an update to the Fish and Game Commission in San Diego. And that commission can make a decision to either stop it there or decide to let the process move forward and go through their public deliberative process. So there's three suites of meetings that will entail to get through the commission process. And that is a public notice meeting of the proposed regulations. There is a discussion meeting, and then an adoption meeting. But there can be multiple discussion meetings. So there's 3 venues before the Fish and Game Commission that people can make their voice heard in this matter. In addition, a CEQA document of some form will be required. And then there's multiple public workshops to review and discuss any proposals, receive comments on the notice of preparation, or whatever the CEQA process entails. Public scoping sessions, and a review of the regulations should whatever form they take. So how did we get here? This is part of a settlement that was initiated through the lawsuit from the Coalition for the Sustainable Delta et al. Versus Director McCammon. And we were mandated to create a proposal for the regulation changes for the California striped bass fishery. That's why we're here tonight. We have made available to the public the department's proposed regulation. If the commission decides to pursue the proposal, it can direct DFG and commission staff to begin the regulatory process under the Administrative Procedures Act and the environmental review process under CEQA. If the commission elects not to pursue the proposal, the process will terminate. So that's what the process is. So we have an existing fish and game policy that everybody is probably familiar with, and that states to increase the number of striped bass to 3 million adults while ensuring that actions to increase striped bass abundance are consistent with the department's long-term mission and public trust responsibilities, including those related to threatened and endangered species and other species of concern. And that policy has remained unchanged since 1996. So why are we pursuing these changes? We hope to strive for a balance between the striped bass fishery and the need to preserve listed species. This is not an all or nothing. There is a middle ground. And the proposal that was developed is based upon years of data collected by Department of Fish and Game biologists. And the data indicates that the striped bass population of the fishery in the Delta will not collapse. I know people disagree with that. And if these proposed changes are implemented. So the proposal is, on the slide, is the same that's outlined in the document that you have before you. The proposal is to raise the daily bag limit to 6 fish, raise the possession limit to 12 fish, so a 2-day bag limit, lower the minimum size to 12 inches, and develop hotspot fisheries in the Clifton Court Forebay and a specified adjacent waterways. And these hotspot fisheries would have a daily bag limit of 20 fish, a possession limit of 40 fish, no size limit, and a report card to go with it, a voluntary report card. It would allow the harvest of striped bass in the Carmel, Pajaro, and Salinas rivers when those fisheries would otherwise be closed. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Marty. He's going to go through some of the information that was put together to address the issues with these listed fish.
Okay, so you guys know the Delta listed fish, Delta smelt, Chinook salmon, longfin smelt, steelhead. Also on the coast, striped bass are predating on tidewater goby and coho salmon, as well as coastal steelhead. This proposal is intended to address all of those issues. What I want to do is go very fast through the kind of data that we have. I want you guys to understand that we look at data from you guys, like party boat data, creel data, that sort of thing. We also have the population study, which is the mark recapture work that's been going on since 1969. We have many, many, many decades of food habit studies. So what do striped bass eat? And what's really pretty neat now is because of the pelagic organism decline, we have access to lots of money and lots of university scientists, and they're doing some very interesting stuff, particularly with genetics, where they can look at the stomach contents of striped bass, and even if it's just mush, they can figure out whether it ate Delta smelt and that sort of thing. And also there's a procedure called bioenergetics analysis, and basically you look at how fast striped bass grow, you look at how big they are, and then you figure out how many calories the striped bass needed to eat to get to that size, multiply that times the number of striped bass you have, and then you get the number of calories that the population consumes. Once you know the number of calories and what they eat, you can figure out how many fish are being consumed by the entire population of striped bass.